Imagine waking up one morning after turning 50 and feeling like your body is quietly trying to tell you something. Nothing dramatic, nothing painful, just subtle changes. The energy that once came naturally now requires more effort. The recovery after physical activity takes longer. Your sleep is not as deep as it used to be. Your mood feels different on certain days, and maybe somewhere in the silence of your own thoughts. A question appears: is this simply aging, or is my body asking for a different kind of care? For many men, reaching 50 feels like standing at the doorway between two stages of life. Behind them are decades of building, working, raising families, creating memories, and proving themselves. Ahead of them is a stage where health, purpose, connection, and self-awareness become more important than ever. But there is one subject that many men avoid discussing. A subject connected to confidence, relationships, hormones, and overall health, sexual health. Many men believe that after 50, changes in sexual function are simply something they have to accept. They think, maybe this is just what happens when you get older. But the human body is much more complex than that. Aging does bring changes. Hormone levels shift. Blood vessels become less flexible. Muscle mass can decrease. Recovery can slow down. But aging does not mean the end of vitality. It means the body starts responding differently. And understanding those changes can completely change the way a man approaches the second half of his life. Today, we are exploring one of the most fascinating questions about male health. What really happens to a man's body after 50 when he continues regular sexual activity compared to when he experiences long periods of little or no sex? Does regular sex affect testosterone? Does it influence blood circulation? Can it support erectile health? What happens to the prostate? How does intimacy affect the brain, emotions, confidence, and even the way a man experiences aging? The answers are more interesting than many people realize, because sexual health is not just about one moment. It is connected to the entire body. Think about your body like a living ecosystem. Every system communicates with every other system. Your heart affects your circulation. Your circulation affects your organs. Your hormones influence your mood and energy. Your mental state influences your physical health. Nothing inside the body exists completely alone, and sexual function is one of the areas where many of these systems come together. An erection, for example, is not simply a physical reaction. It involves the brain. Nerves, hormones, emotions, and blood vessels working together. It begins with signals in the mind. The brain sends messages through the nervous system. Blood vessels respond. Blood flow increases. Muscles relax. The body creates a physical response. It is an incredible biological process. And because it depends on so many systems working together, changes in sexual health can sometimes reveal changes happening elsewhere in the body. This is why doctors often pay attention when men experience sudden changes in sexual function, not because sex is the only important thing, but because the body often gives signals before bigger problems become obvious. Now imagine two men. Both are 55 years old. Both have lived full lives. Both have experienced success, disappointment, stress, happiness, and challenges. The first man continues maintaining intimacy with his partner. He values affection. He communicates. He stays physically active. He takes care of his health. The second man slowly removes intimacy from his life. Maybe because of stress. Maybe because of relationship struggles. Maybe because he believes sexual activity no longer matters after a certain age. At first, there may be no obvious difference. Both men may feel normal, but over time, their lifestyles may create different paths. Not because sex alone controls health. It does not. A person cannot ignore exercise, eat poorly, sleep 5 hours a night, live under constant stress, and expect sexual activity alone to protect the body. Sex is not a miracle treatment, but it can be one important part of a healthy lifestyle. And the reason is deeper than most people think. Sexual activity involves more than physical movement. It involves connection, human touch, emotional bonding, confidence, and psychological well-being. During intimacy, the brain releases chemicals involved in pleasure, bonding, and relaxation. Dopamine plays a role in motivation and reward. Oxytocin is connected with emotional bonding and connection. Endorphins can influence feelings of relaxation and well-being. These natural processes are part of why intimacy can have such a powerful effect on the human experience. For many men over 50, intimacy becomes less about proving something and more about connection. It becomes a reminder, I am still alive. I am still capable of giving and receiving affection. I am still connected to another person. And that emotional impact can be powerful because one of the biggest challenges many men face after 50 is not only physical change, it is identity. Many men spend decades measuring themselves by what they accomplish, their job, their income, their responsibilities, their ability to provide. Then suddenly, as they age, they may begin questioning themselves. Am I still attractive? Does my partner still want me? Am I losing a part of who I used to be? These thoughts can quietly affect confidence. And confidence influences behavior. A man who feels disconnected from himself may stop investing in his health. He may become less active. He may avoid social situations. He may lose motivation. But a man who maintains connection, purpose, and self-respect often continues taking care of himself. This creates a powerful cycle. When a person feels good about himself, he is more likely to make healthier choices. When he makes healthier choices, his body responds positively. When his body feels stronger, his confidence improves. And when confidence improves, relationships often become stronger. Now, let's talk about one of the most discussed topics in male health after 50. Testosterone. Testosterone is often called the male hormone. It plays important roles in muscle maintenance, bone strength, energy, mood, sex drive, and overall physical function. However, testosterone is not simply a measure of masculinity. It is one part of a complex hormonal system. As men age, testosterone levels often gradually decline. This is a natural biological process, but the amount of change varies from person to person. Some men maintain healthy levels well into older age. Others experience more noticeable changes. Why the difference? Because hormones are influenced by many factors: less sleep quality, stress, exercise, baby composition, nutrition, alcohol consumption, overall health. Lifestyle plays a major role, and sexual activity exists within this larger picture. Some people believe, if I stop having sex, my testosterone disappears. That is not scientifically accurate. The body does not work like a simple machine where one activity controls one hormone. But maintaining a healthy sexual life may support behaviors and conditions that are connected with better overall health. For example, men who maintain intimacy may also maintain emotional connection, relationship satisfaction, physical activity, and confidence. All of these factors can influence well-being. Now let's move deeper into one of the most important connections: sexual health and blood circulation. Many men do not realize how closely connected erections are to cardiovascular health. The blood vessels responsible for sexual function are very sensitive. When circulation is healthy, blood can move efficiently throughout the body. When blood vessels become damaged or narrowed, the effects can appear in different ways. Sometimes, sexual changes may appear before other symptoms. This is why maintaining heart health is one of the greatest investments a man can make after 50. Simple habits matter. Walking regularly, strength training, eating nutritious foods, managing stress, getting enough sleep, maintaining a healthy weight. These choices do not only support the heart, they support the entire body, including sexual health. And then there is the prostate, a small gland that becomes a major concern for many men as they grow older. Many men ask, does ejaculation affect prostate health? Does regular sex protect the prostate? Can avoiding sex create problems? The scientific answer is not as simple as yes or no. Research has explored possible connections between ejaculation frequency and prostate health, but many factors influence prostate function: age, genetics, lifestyle, inflammation, overall health. Sexual activity may be one factor among many, but it is important to understand that maintaining prostate health requires more than sexual activity. Regular medical care, awareness of symptoms, healthy lifestyle choices, and communication with healthcare professionals are all important. The goal is not to fear getting older. The goal is to understand your body, because your body is constantly communicating with you, sometimes through energy levels, sometimes through sleep, sometimes through mood, sometimes through sexual health. The question is whether we are listening, and as we continue this journey, we will explore something many men wonder about but rarely discuss. What actually happens when a man stops having sex for months or years? Does desire disappear? Does the body forget? Does erectile function decline? Does the brain respond differently? Or is the truth completely different from what most people believe? Because the most surprising discoveries are often found not in what happens when a man continues intimacy, but in what happens when he slowly disconnects from it. After exploring the relationship between regular sex, no sex, aging, hormones, circulation, emotional health, and overall well-being, one truth becomes clear: a man does not stop being alive, confident, or capable simply because he reaches 50. The body changes, but change does not mean decline. It means adaptation. Regular sexual activity after 50 is not a magical solution that prevents aging, and a period of no sex does not automatically destroy a man's health. The human body is far more complex than that. But intimacy, connection, and sexual health can be important parts of a bigger picture. They reflect many things happening inside a man's life: his physical condition, his emotional state, his relationships, his confidence, and the way he cares for himself. A healthy sex life can support emotional connection, reduce stress, improve feelings of closeness, and contribute to a positive relationship with the body. It can be one expression of a lifestyle that includes movement, good nutrition, proper sleep, and mental well-being. At the same time, a lack of sexual activity does not mean a man has failed or that his body is broken. Life changes, relationships change, health situations change, personal choices change. What matters most is staying connected, not only with another person, but with yourself. Many men after 50 make the mistake of believing their best years are behind them. They look at the mirror and only see what has changed. They focus on the energy they have lost instead of the wisdom they have gained. They notice the years that passed instead of the opportunities that remain. But aging is not the end of vitality. It is an invitation to become more intentional. Your heart still needs care. Your muscles still need movement. Your mind still needs purpose. Your relationships still need attention. and your body still deserves respect. Sexual health is not just about performance. It is about circulation, confidence, contractions, hormonal balance, emotional strength, and the understanding that your body is still working with you, not against you. The strongest men are not the ones who pretend they never change. The strongest men are the ones who recognize, change, and respond with wisdom. They take care of their health. They communicate with their partners. They seek medical advice when needed. They continue learning about their bodies. They continue building a life filled with meaning. Because the goal is not to stay young forever. The goal is to age with strength, confidence, and dignity. So if you are over 50, remember this: your story is not over. Your body is still capable of growth. Your health is still worth investing in. Your relationships are still worth protecting. And your future can still be one of the strongest chapters of your life. Take care of your body. Listen to its signals. Value connection. Stay active. Stay curious. And never believe the idea that getting older means becoming less. Aging is not about losing who you were. It is about discovering who you can become. If you found this video valuable, make sure to like this video, share it with someone who may need to hear this message, and subscribe for more science-based health insights that help you understand your body and improve your life. Remember, knowledge is one of the most powerful tools you have. The better you understand your body, the better you can care for it. And the journey toward better health can begin at any age.